What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special racing news preview today. Let's go to Emerald Downs, Sunday, August 11th. It is the Longacres Mile, a 1 mile race on the dirt. It'll be race 9 on the card. They'll run for $150,000. Well, why am I doing this one? Well, our good buddy and friend of the racing news, John White, will be inducted into the Washington Racing Hall of Fame on Saturday. And then Sunday, the Longacres Mile, and yours truly, as well as Jared, and as well as Ryan Stillman, will be in attendance. So I thought it's what better. We need to preview the race here, the race that is John White's favorite of all the races on the calendar. It is the Longacres Mile that he likes best. All right, let's get to the handicapping portion of this now. It's a field of 12. It is a tough field of 12. The 2023 winner is in this race. The 2022 winner is in this race. And everybody in between seems to be in this race as well. So we'll go through them one by one. There are 12 of them, and we'll go to Neiman to kick it off. The number 1 Neiman, who's coming into this race off of a third-place effort in the local prep race sort of for this, the Governor Stakes, right here at Emerald Downs. This is an Emerald Down local, has 3 races over the track this season, winning an allowance and then winning another stakes here at Emerald 2 races back, the Budweiser Stakes, which, hey, we all could like that one, right? I would like to win that one before, like I said, that third in the Governors. So comes in with a big shot, I think. Justin Evans, the trainer of this one, he has several in the race. He is an excellent trainer. He's doing a great job at Emerald Downs. So look out for the number 1 Neiman. Pretty good form coming into this one. The number 2 is Clovis Connection. This is a horse that's coming off of a win at Pleasanton last time out in a stakes race. That's the California Fair Circuit, if you're not familiar. He won the Oak Tree Sprint last time out. And 2 races back, won a synthetic race over the track there at Golden Gate, won an allowance by 3 lengths. So he can kind of do it all. He's had a turf win, I should say, on his resume as well, as he went up and won at Santa Rosa last year in a small stakes race. So he can do a little bit of everything. He's a very cool horse. He's 9 for 14 lifetime. It's not very often that he shows up and does no running at all. Blaine Wright, the trainer of Clovis Connection, he's very good as well. So a lot to like there. The number 3 is Slews Tiz Wiz. Slews Tiz Wiz is a horse that, way back in 2022, we'll say it now, won the Longacres Mile in fine fashion there at 3-1. He won that day. And then last year he was 3rd in this race, beaten 5 1/4 as a 2-1 favorite. Fast forward to this year, he's kind of coming into the race struggling a bit. 4th in an allowance, 2nd in that Budweiser Stakes that I just mentioned that Neiman won, and then a dead heat win last time out with another horse we'll talk about in a minute that's in this race in the Governor. So he is getting better with each start. He does have experience in the Longacres Mile, winning this race 2 years ago, and of course last year finishing 3rd, like I said. We'll just see what happens. I think this horse, the progression into the Longacres Mile, getting better with each start is a good sign. It is, I think, a little bit of a negative. This is a horse that's really hit the board a lot. He did miss the board, like I said. That was a sloppy racetrack in his 2024 debut, so maybe give him a pass. Then got that 2nd. So maybe he is coming into this race in good form. He's another one, and it's kind of like every horse looks like they got a little bit of a shot. This one does as well. The number 4 is DeChambeau, and this is a horse that if you follow the Northern California Circuit, Golden Gate or Turf Paradise, you know who this is. 2 races back at Turf Paradise, this horse was able to win an allowance by 3 lengths. Thought he ran very well that day. And then came up here and ran in the local prep, the Governors, last time out and got 4th, beaten 7 1/4. So, if you've got interest in the top 3 finishers of the Governor's Cup, this one is another one you might have a little bit of interest in as well. You got to start eliminating some of them. This is one I kind of said I'm not going to put on tickets. So we'll see if he can kind of run better in that 2nd start of the season here at Emerald Downs. Number 5 is Phantom Ride. This is a horse coming first off the claim, believe it or not. This horse got claimed last time out where he ran 3rd in a $62,000 claimer at Churchill Downs. So we'll see if this horse can kind of parlay that. 3rd place at Churchill into success here in a stakes race at Emerald. Also was 2nd 2 races back in a 32K claimer at Churchill Downs as well. Does have a claiming victory this season at Oaklawn Park and a couple of wins actually at Oaklawn Park during that meet. So it's a claimer trying stakes. I think that's tough, but I think it is good that he's been running at bigger tracks and he's kind of had speed figures that aren't too bad either. So I would say he's going to be a little bit of an outsider, but probably not the worst long shot to play if you believe in that class at Churchill and at Oaklawn. The number 6 horse is Bellator. Il Bellator comes into this race off of a 5th place effort at Pleasanton. You kind of look at some of his synthetic form. It's not too bad. He was an allowance winner 2 races back at Golden Gate. The dirt form, though, to me is a little bit sketchy. This would be kind of an ultimate long shot for me. I don't have a lot of interest in this horse in this one. And look, it's a tough race, and I'm not sure how he fits into this one. The number 7 is very interesting. Arma Dioro, the number 7 horse, coming into this one. He was 4th last year in the Longacres Mile, ran a pretty good race at 16-1, went over and then ran at Santa Anita, then went to Golden Gate and got on the synthetic, and really just was kind of average, didn't really do a lot of running at Santa Anita or Golden Gate. Came up here to Emerald, ran in a 25K claimer and got beat, but was claimed out of that race. Justin Evans, new trainer for the next start, 25K claimer, went right back to it, won by 8 lengths, and that was at this distance of a mile. And then last time out was the dead heat horse with Slews Tiz Wiz right there in the Governor. So this horse, who was running for a 20K at one time this season at Golden Gate and 25 right here at Emerald, he dead heats with a former Longacres Mile winner, in Slews Tiz Wiz. Justin Evans has been fantastic this meet. And you might want to note Kevin Krieger. He has been unbelievable this meet at Emerald Downs as well. He is the jockey on Arma Dioro, and I would think Kevin Krieger's kind of been Justin Evans' main guy here. I would think he would have had the pick of the Justin Evans horses. So it's going to be very interesting. Arma Dioro, can he go from 2 races back running for 25K to winning the Longacres Mile? It'll be very interesting to follow this horse. I think he's got a big chance. Number 8 is Giant Game, and this is the horse Giant Game, that used to be a Dale Romans horse. Well, it also now used to be a Peter Urton horse. So you saw Giant Game in all the big races for Dale Romans. They switched trainers over to Peter Urton last time out and ran in the Bing Crosby and got beat 15 lengths, finished 7th, the Chosen Brawn. If you watch the video I did of that, I was like, I have no idea why Giant Game's in this race. He's cutting back. He's got a new trainer. He was privately purchased. And it's like, I don't know what they're doing with him now. This is a spot that makes a little bit of sense for Giant Game here in the Longacres Mile. Justin Evans now takes over the training. So we've talked about how good he's been up here. So class-wise, this makes a lot of sense. The last time this horse won, the Cornhusker Handicap was the race. Guess what? I was in attendance for that race. He hasn't won since. So maybe I'm his good luck charm. We'll see on Sunday if he wins this one. So he's interesting. He's he is one of the classier horse, but what does that really mean for him? We just haven't seen him do much in a long, long time, really, since that Cornhusker. Let's keep going, though, and let's go to last year's winner of the Longacres Mile, and that's the number 9 5-star General. And this is obviously the most logical horse in the race, and I'll kind of lay out why now. Obviously won this race. They tried tougher with him in the Lucas Classic in the next start. He's not that kind of horse. But when you get him in these type of races, he knows how to get the job done. On December 23rd, he won the Tenacious Stakes there at Fairgrounds. 2 races back, he wins a tough allowance race at Churchill Downs. Last time out, he was 3rd in a race at Horseshoe, Indiana, in ungraded stakes. So he is the horse I think you can count on the most in this. He's going to show up and run a solid race. He may not win. He may get 2nd or 3rd, but I think he's kind of your key horse in your exactas and tries. You can move him around the 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd spot and play horses around him. And I think you kind of know what he's going to do. I also think it's a really good sign. Joe Bravo comes in to ride this horse. And guess what? The last time Joe Bravo was on this horse, it was right here at Emerald Downs when he won the Longacres Mile by 1.5 lengths. So he comes in good form. He faces a similar-ish field. I know we got kind of some new interesting situations going on that we've kind of laid out, but he makes sense in this spot. He's going to show up with a good effort. All right, number 10 is Surprisingly Perfect. And Surprisingly Perfect, he's been perfect in his last 3 races here at Emerald Downs. Won a starter allowance by 5, won a 25K claimer by 6, and then last time out won an allowance by a nose. Really good race. You go back and watch that. Some of these races at Emerald have been good. These replays that I've watched, that was a fun one. Now, here's the downside. Kevin Krieger has been on this horse the last 3 races. He is not on here. He went to Arma di Oro, so that does kind of same trainer as well. Justin Evans has this one as well, so it does kind of, I don't know. Maybe Kevin Krieger thinks this is a little too tough for him. So yeah, that's kind of the downside. Not the greatest post position either, but if you like to bet on horses that win a lot, I mean, this horse has won 4 out of the last 5 and 3 in a row. So I wouldn't talk you off of this one. Number 11 is Prince Abu Dhabi. And this is another one that you've probably heard of. A horse has been running at Golden Gate, Santa Anita, kind of some bigger tracks. Last year, he did come to Emerald Downs and won the Muckleshoot Derby. Of course he did. So he was able to win that race, which was on the Longacres Mile undercard. So that was kind of the 3-year-old race. He's now 4. He after winning that, he did have a long layoff. Won a race at Golden Gate over the synthetic. The dirt races haven't been all that good. He was 3rd last time we saw him in the Pleasanton Mile, but he earned a good speed figure that day. Blaine Wright, the trainer, so obviously a very good trainer. Yeah, look, I think the Pleasanton Mile, the Longacres Mile, probably going to be a little bit tougher than that. Also, I had a chuckle. The Pleasanton Mile ran at 1 mile and 70 yards there at Pleasanton. That's kind of funny. But anyway, I think if this horse had a little bit better post, I'd be a lot more interested. I think this 11 post is going to be tough for him. And I think this is going to be kind of a race rider's race. You got 12 horses. They're all kind of similar. I think that 11 hole may hang him out a little bit wide. And when you got horses that are very similar, you're going to try. It's hard to project, a trip, but you got to try to project it. I'm not quite sure he's going to get a great one here, but he's very capable. And then finally, the number 12 is Muncie, and we'll see what he can do. See if he can flip that form. Last time out, he was 6, beaten 10 in the Governor's Cup. Did win an allowance 2 races back right here at Emerald, but he was beaten by 9.5 by Arma di Oro 3 races back in that 25K claimer. So, and also I should say 4 races back was beaten by Neiman pretty easily as well. So he's lost a lot of races to horses that are in this. And also the post position is not great for the 12 Muncie either. I think he's going to need a pace collapse. There does look to be a little bit of pace, but I don't know if there'll be enough. I'm not real interested in him. All right, well, I think the horse you can count on the most, so I'm going to put him on top as the number 9 5-star General. I think he can win back-to-back Longacres Miles. The problem is he's not a horse that is just a win machine. He's been in similar races to this and not got the job done. But I do think he's the best horse here. So I'm going to put him on top. And I really think the number 7, Arma di Oro, is one, with Kevin Krieger choosing to ride him. I think he makes a lot of sense as well. So I think the 9 5-star General, the 7 Arma di Oro, that's the 2 that I'm kind of interested in the most. And then I'll play some of the other prices around those 2 in exactas and tries. All right, that'll do it for our preview of the Longacres Mile. For full coverage of that day, including free win picks for every race on that Emerald Downs card and the Longacres card, go to racingdudes.com. For premium products, make sure to go over to the premium products page there at racingdudes.com. Help support not only the racingdudes.com, but the YouTube channel as well. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching this video. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Emerald Downs on Sunday.